Everybody, this is the Thursday, June 1st, 2023 afternoon session of the Portland City Council. Keelan, I felt like we're just here a few minutes ago. Please call the roll.
Good afternoon. Ryan.
Here.
Gonzalez. Maps.
Here.
Rubio.
Here.
Wheeler.
Here. Now we'll hear from legal counsel on the rules of order and decorum.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome to the Portland City Council. To testify before council in person or virtually, you must sign up in advance on the council agenda at www.portland.gov/council/agenda. Information on engaging with City Council can be found on the council's clerk's webpage. The presiding officer preserves order and decorum during City Council meetings. The presiding officer determines the length of testimony. Individuals generally have 3 minutes to testify unless otherwise stated. A timer will indicate when your time is done. Disruptive conduct such as shouting, refusing to conclude your testimony when your time is up, or interrupting others' testimony or council deliberations will not be allowed. If you cause a disruption, a warning will be given. Further disruption will result in ejection from the meeting. Anyone who fails to leave once ejected is subject to arrest for trespass. Additionally, council may take a short recess and reconvene virtually. Your testimony today should address the matter being considered. When testifying, state your name for the record. Your address is not necessary. Disclose if you are a lobbyist. If you are representing an organization, please identify it. For testifiers joining virtually, please unmute yourself once the council clerk calls your name. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. First item is a non-emergency ordinance 452.
Amend contract with Squire Patton Boggs for federal representation for a 1-year extension and increase amount by $198,000.
Colleagues, this ordinance grants a 1-year extension for the Office of Government Relations current contract for federal representation with Squire Patton Boggs LLP. This extension will better align OGR's timeline for an RFP process with the implementation of the city's charter transition, thus better ensuring our federal relations program is ready to serve the mayor, the city administrator, and the Portland City Council as it opens for business on January 1st, 2025. Office of Government Relations Deputy Director Nils Tillstrom is here to walk us through the ordinance.
Right.
Welcome, Nils. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Niels Tillstrom. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the Deputy Director and Regional Liaison in the Office of Government Relations. As the Mayor mentioned, the item before you would extend the current contract the city has for federal representation services with Squire Patton Boggs by 1 year. The city's current contract for these services is set to expire on August 31st, 2023, and the funds for this contract are already included in the office's FY 23-24 budget. The city's federal legislative and regulatory agenda is implemented by the Federal Relations Program and within the Office of Government Relations, and the program manages this contract for federal representation services in Washington, D.C. In the next year, the city will remain highly engaged on key city or council priorities as identified in the city's federal legislative and regulatory agenda, including on issues addressing homelessness, housing, stability, public safety, behavioral health, climate and environmental justice, and infrastructure investment. A 1-year extension of the current contract will provide continuity of service while we gain more clarity on how the implementation of charter reform will impact the operations of the Office of Government Relations and allow for the city's new organizational structure to be more accurately conveyed within a request for proposal, which will be run in spring 2024. The Office of Government Relations will begin the procurement process for the federal representation contract in early 2024, and will have a new contract in place by August 31st, 2024. A contract beginning in, as the mayor stated, a contract beginning then will allow for a federal relations program that is ready to serve the mayor, city administrator, and the Portland City Council on January 1, 2025. So that concludes my remarks.
Perfect. Thank you. Colleagues, any questions? And Keelan, Commissioner Gonzalez is not participating. Is he online?
He's absent.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you. Great. Do we have public testimony on this item?
No one signed up.
Okay, well, I'll just say I'm very supportive. I've been very appreciative of the relationship. I think we've had excellent representation. I will support it when it comes back for a second reading.
All right, thank
This
you.
is a first reading of a non-emergency ordinance. It moves to second reading. Thank you. Next item is item 453, please. It's a non-emergency ordinance.
Authorize borrowings of not more than $38 million in anticipation of the Fire and Police Disability and Retirement Fund levy for FY 2023-24.
Colleagues, this ordinance authorizes the annual issuance of short-term notes for financing a portion of the Fire and Police Disability and Retirement Fund benefits for the fiscal year 2024. The issuance of the short-term notes is required to fund benefit requirements payable early next fiscal year, as the fund's property tax revenues are not received until late November. So in other words, this helps us carry forward the benefits payouts while we are waiting for those revenues to come in the door. Matt Gierach, the city's debt manager, is here to walk us through the item.
Good afternoon, Mayor Wheeler and Commissioners. For the record, I'm Matt Gierach, the city's debt manager. I'm also joined by Stacy Jones.
Stacy Jones, the Deputy Director of FPDR.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
So as noted in the opening remarks, this ordinance authorizes short-term borrowings for the Fire and Police Disability and Retirement Fund, which is frequently referred to as FPDNR. I'll emphasize again that this is a normal course of business item, and the city has issued short-term borrowings for this purpose for over 20 years. As background, FPDNR benefit payments are funded annually on a pay-as-you-go basis through a dedicated property tax levy per the city charter. This levy is separate from the city's general fund levy. For FPDNR's ongoing resources, the city only levies enough property taxes that are needed to pay requirements of the fund in that respective fiscal year. And as a result, the fund does not maintain a sizable July 1 beginning fund balance each fiscal year. So since the property tax collections begin in November and the fund pays benefits monthly, this results in a negative fund balance during the July through November timeframe absent an alternative funding source. So this leads to the reason for this ordinance to address the short-term funding deficit. Each fiscal year, the city issues short-term debt obligations to provide temporary funding during that deficit period. These short-term debt obligations are typically referred to as tax anticipation notes, and they are widely used by local governments around the country for this very same purpose, which is addressing timing differences of property tax collections and related expenditures. With your approval, the city's debt management division will issue a tax anticipation note in the public securities markets this August. The note will be secured by both the FPD&R property tax levy and the city's full faith and credit, which includes all legally available general fund resources. As a short-term borrowing, the note will need to be repaid in the same fiscal year once adequate property tax revenues are received. We anticipate the repayment to occur in early calendar year 2024. Based on current market rates, it's expected the interest rate will be approximately 3.65%, including costs, and interest costs net of reinvestment earnings is conservatively around $650,000. So that concludes the formal remarks, and I appreciate the opportunity to present this item and answer any questions.
Very good. Thank you for your thoroughness. Colleagues, Commissioner Mapps.
Sure. Obviously, well, we're not voting today, and obviously I will vote yes, and I remember this coming back to us before. Did I hear you say we're gonna pay $650,000 in interest to borrow these dollars for about 6 months or something?
Yeah, about 6 months. Yeah, that's under the assumption that we repay February 1st of 2024.
Sure. Well, I know the mechanisms here are complicated, and there's a lot of history, and I don't have it in my head. I don't know if this is a question to you or my colleagues, or I guess in your professional opinion, is this the most efficient way to manage this? I'm a little bit stuck on the 600.
It's a relatively low-cost way to manage this and to manage the city's financial risk on this. Without doing this, we'd need to fund the benefits through another way, which ultimately would be the general fund. And it's not advisable to draw down on the general fund resources by $38 million. It's really our most treasured financial resource that, from a credit rating perspective, is looked at very importantly.
And Matt, perhaps I could chime in on this just briefly. Commissioner Mapps, we have talked about this with the FPDR board. The city attorney's office have some concerns about us building up enough fund balance to get us through this, which is what the general fund does. Yeah. Because of the way the charter is written about pre-funding benefits. I also want to say that until this year, we have always made money within IRS arbitrage rebate limits. We've always earned more on the city investment pool than we have on the bond market. That did not happen this year. We don't expect it to happen this year. Whether or not this is the new normal is more in Matt's area than mine, but in the past, this has always been financially advantageous for the city.
Yeah, and can you explain to me what happens here? Because I remember thinking about this probably last year and asking the same questions to my staff, and they said, don't worry about it, boss, we actually make money here. Why did we make money last year, but now it's costing us $600?
Last year, we did it via a bank loan, and the rates, I think, were generally, okay, so recently, over the last several months, the Federal Reserve has increased short-term rates dramatically. Our investment fund takes a longer time to reach that because essentially we're a buy and hold investment fund.
Yeah.
And when we book the investments, they're essentially held to maturity, and it takes longer for those investments to mature and get reinvested at current market rates. Yeah. So it's kind of it's a lag before we catch up essentially to where current rates are, which are at like 5%. So the investment fund earnings right now, I think, are around 2.1%, and that will slowly trickle up as we continue to turn over the investment pool.
Okay. Didn't fully follow that, but by next year, I am likely to, or I'll aspire to fully follow it by next year. Thank you very much. I appreciate the dialogue, Mr. Mayor. I have no more questions.
All right. Anybody else? Commissioner Ryan.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I see it on my taxes every year. How often do I vote on that?
You don't, because it is part of the city's permanent levies. So it's just like the general government levy. Of course, a vote to amend the city charter and get rid of it and fund the pension in another way could always be done by referral to the voters or citizen initiative.
Okay.
But
I
it's not
just-
an-
I
it's-
was curious and didn't obviously know the answer to my question, so I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
However, it would be very, 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 very challenging to transition it from a pay-as-you-go to
To a
an
pre-fund.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the billions, certainly billions with a B, cost.
yes, so
Yes.
not truly feasible. And, I mean, there's pros and cons to a pay-as-you-go, but that's what our city fathers chose, and that's what we're stuck with.
And it is a closed plan.
Yeah,
And so it
that's
will
correct.
die its own natural death over time.
Very poor choice of words, but I see where
You're
going with
right. I work in a pension plan. That was a very poor choice of words.
Usually that's my job. It's like, anyway, good. Do we have public testimony on this item?
No one signed up.
All right, terrific, good. Thank you very much for the presentation. We appreciate it. Appreciate your good stewardship. This is the first reading of the non-emergency ordinance, and it moves to second reading. Thank you. And not last, well, it is last, but not least, 454, please.
Authorize Portland Parks and Recreation to establish and collect fees in lieu of mitigation activities to implement restoration projects in natural areas.
Also a non-emergency ordinance, Commissioner Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I am going to quickly turn this over to you, Kendra Peterson-Morgan, because I just don't have any remarks to really help you out here. But it's delightful to see you here online, and you're unmuted, so take it away.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, Mayor Wheeler and City Commissioners. My name is Kendra Peterson-Morgan. I use she, her pronouns. I am the Natural Area Supervisor for City Nature West within Portland Parks and Recreation. And I work with the team that is responsible for stewarding 6,000 acres of natural area on the west side of the Willamette River, which of course includes Forest Park and 35 other natural areas. I'm here to discuss the ordinance before you to authorize Portland Parks and Recreation to receive fee in lieu of mitigation funds to implement restoration in natural areas, specifically Forest Park. Next slide. And how is my audio? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, good. All right. So Forest Park currently has 8 different utility corridors running through it. This includes both above ground utilities, such as transmission lines, and below ground utilities, such as natural gas pipelines and fiber optic cables. As you can imagine, these utilities require regular and routine maintenance, and at times more extensive replacement. A current example of a project in Forest Park is the permitted work scheduled to begin next week to repair pipeline anomalies along the Kinder Morgan gas line. Under the current system, a third party such as Kinder Morgan proposes a project in Forest Park, and under zoning code and necessary permits, mitigation is required for negative resource impacts. That third party is then required to design and implement mitigation plans, and both Portland Parks and Recreation and the Bureau of Development Services provide extensive technical assistance and review to get those mitigation plans aligned with environmental requirements and our restoration goals for the site. Next slide, please. This burdens the city and applicants because considerable communication and coordination between the parties is required. There are many junctures for miscommunication and non-compliance. Applicants can only perform certain types of mitigation, which is largely limited to invasive species removal and revegetation. And applicants lack the time and technical expertise to carry out more nuanced plans that require multi-year site preparation, long-term maintenance plans, and other activities that might be necessary to meet site needs, including wildfire risk mitigation. Because these are utility companies whose expertise is in utility conveyance and maintenance, not in natural resource protection and restoration, in essence, we are consulting with the consultants that the utility companies hire to inform everything from what to plant, where to plant it, when to plant it, and how to maintain the plants for optimum survival. it is not the most efficient system that we currently have in place. Next slide. The proposed ordinance would authorize Portland Parks and Recreation to accept mitigation fees from applicants in lieu of applicants conducting the mitigation. Fees would be calculated based on existing fees for tree planting and removal under Title 11, the established city's tree code. Portland Parks and Recreation would use the fees to design and implement the mitigation in natural areas instead of the applicant. This is advantageous because Portland Parks and Recreation has natural resource ecologists who are both designing and implementing the restoration strategies for our natural areas. They have in-depth site knowledge, advanced ecological training, and a long-term commitment to the restoration outcomes. Next slide. The proposed ordinance would help develop a more efficient approach. Portland Parks and Recreation would use applicant funds to design and implement mitigation, which would reduce communication and coordination between all parties. It would reduce friction and result in more efficient use of city resources. And importantly, we will have better ecological outcomes on the ground. Portland Parks and Recreation has the technical expertise to implement appropriate mitigation, which will result in more efficient restoration projects and enhanced efforts to meet our overarching stewardship objectives. So this is really a win-win-win situation. In our outreach thus far to utility companies, they've been very enthusiastic about this new system and would prefer the ease of paying a fee rather than conducting the mitigation activities directly. Our outreach to community partners has resulted in strong support for a streamlined system that yields improved ecological outcomes. I believe you have a written testimony before you from the Forest Park Neighborhood Association that confirms that statement. And Portland Parks and Recreation is eager to have a system in place that will allow for a more efficient and effective system. This will allow our technically knowledgeable park staff who are managing broader scale ecological management of Forest Park to be planning, implementing, and maintaining the mitigation rather than a third-party applicant. Next slide. I should also add that while Portland Parks and Recreation is bringing forward this proposal to you today, the crafting and development of this ordinance was done hand in hand with staff at our sister bureau of the Bureau of Development Services. They have been a great partner in the development of this concept and really a champion in our pursuit of this change. I want to make sure to acknowledge them. I hope that the information I provided you with today will result in a vote in favor of creating a more efficient and effective city system that yields improved ecological benefits for Forest Park. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thanks, Kendra. Commissioner Mapps has a question.
Sure. I support this. I'm going to ask some friendly questions because I like this idea and hope to learn more about this concept. So what happens with these dollars that come in? Do they go into the general funds? Who spends them and how do they get spent?
That's a great question. So the system that we have set up with our finance team is for these funds to go into the Forest Park Trust Fund, which is earmarked specifically and only for use in Forest Park. We have also set up a system where we will be providing annual reporting on how those funds are spent and a commitment to spending those funds within 5 years of their receipt.
Cool. Who decides on how dollars in the Forest Park Trust Fund get allocated?
So this is going to be an approval process that goes through the Bureau of Development Services. So when an applicant submits an application that requires mitigation, we, Parks, will develop a mitigation plan. It will be submitted back to the Bureau of Development Services, and then it will actually be written into the permit if this system is allowed. So BDS will be reviewing our proposals.
Okay.
In compliance with environmental code.
All right. I think that was a little bit different from what I remember in the ordinance, but it doesn't matter that much. And what do we do? So do we expect this to be a big change in the way we do business? From your presentation today, I get the impression historically the utilities that come in here have been doing the mitigation work. Do we expect there to be kind of a 50-50 split between folks who continue to do the mitigation work themselves? Or do we think all that sort of mitigation work and consulting stuff is basically going to disappear?
Based upon the experience we've had to date with utility companies doing this work, I think that most will elect to participate in this process. There may be some instances where it's more efficient and effective to have them handle it themselves. But that will be a collaborative decision with input from the Bureau of Development Services as well.
Interesting, cool. And I think that my last question is this going to require a different staffing pattern over at Parks? So now historically, this work has been done by outside parties. Now it's going to come back in-house. Are you going to need new bodies to go out and either pull up invasive species or plant new plants? Or is that something that works within our existing staffing pattern?
Based upon the projections for the projects that we have on the horizon, we're anticipating we should be able to handle this capacity of spending those funds within 5 years of receipt with our existing staff structure.
Okay, and I know I said that would be my last question, but I have one more which is kind of rolling around my head. Can you give me an intuitive reason why BDS is the partner agency here? Is it just because they do permits in general, or I'm not sure what their role here is in this?
Sure. So currently the system is going through the land use review, and mitigation is brokered through that process.
Okay.
And so Parks is weighing in on that, but BDS is essentially the bureau that is the lead on review of those permits and issuing of those permits.
Got it. Makes sense. Thank you very much. No more questions, Mr. Mayor. And Commissioner Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, Commissioner Ryan.
Hey, Kendra, I know that we met on this. It feels like it was months ago and it wasn't, so I apologize if you already answered this question. I really liked what I recall is, when you said win-win-win, that's always a confident statement, and I recall it being about efficiency. And as Commissioner Mapps and Commissioner Rubio know, all of our work in the task force with permitting was always looking at ways that we could make the process more efficient. So I wasn't surprised on this matter that, you're partnering with BDS. What were some examples of stakeholders outside of the city that you partnered with as stakeholders to engage as we work this policy?
So we spoke with both the Forest Park Neighborhood Association, the Linton Neighborhood Association, Portland Audubon, and then also the Forest Park Conservancy.
You mentioned utilities earlier. Was there also dialogue with utilities?
Oh, yes, of course. I was thinking more of community partners. Of course,
I think of our
community too.
Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, so we did also engage with Portland General Electric, Kinder Morgan. There is an ancillary project that's not a utility project, but has impacts to Forest Park, which is through the Oregon Department of Transportation for the work that they're doing along Bridge Avenue to address rockfall issues. So we also did some outreach to them as well.
Okay. And so they were brought along on the foundation level of this.
Correct.
Our partners, both in community organizations and in industry.
That is correct.
All right. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Great. Thank you. Any further questions? Do we have public testimony on this item?
We have one person signed up. Lynn Handlin is online.
Great. Welcome. Lynn, can you unmute? There you are.
Yeah, that took a little while. Sorry. So I just found out about this particular thing last night and, tried to do some reading and figure it out. And some of this sounds good. I mean, having mitigation happen faster and more smoothly is good. My real concern is is it in some ways it feels like an expansion of the pay to slay program, you know, pay money for your fees and you can cut down whatever trees you want, which I don't think that's the intention of this, but you could maybe see why I might be a little bit concerned about that when I see, we're going to streamline and make it easier for, you know, people to do development through here. And, you know, the Northwest Methane and, you know, Kinder Morgan and whatnot, like, ooh, do we really want to, you know, fast track more of that going through Forest Park? I have some real concerns about that. So I'm not sure, I think I need to know more, and I wished I did know more about this particular program, but I'd like to know how are you making sure that that doesn't happen, that we aren't just like making it easier for, you know, especially Kinder Morgan and Northwest Methane to just like do more stuff in there, which we don't want more of that is the idea. So anyway, that's basically my testimony. I'm, you know, all for doing habitat restoration and making all that smoother and better. And, you know, I love parks and trees and all that. So does this make it better or not better? I have concerns. Thanks.
Great, thank you very much. Does that complete public testimony?
Yes.
What, are you tired today? Why? We gave you such an easy day yesterday. I think we gave you 20 minutes off after, you know,
I
10
know,
hours
more
of
than
council.
enough, more than.
This is a first, oh, Dan, did you have something else?
Yeah, I
Sorry.
just wanted
You
to
bet.
know, Kendra, the testimony was very helpful to listen to, and I saw you reacting. Is there just a couple things you'd like to say based on listening to that testimony?
Yeah, I really would love to say a few things.
Okay,
So, one of the things, I appreciate the question too, because I think sometimes we skip a step when we're talking about these things internally. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about the group that I work with and what our primary mandate is. So City Nature is a division that is focused fully. Our mission is to protect and enhance our natural resources within our natural areas. So we're a team of ecologists, technicians who are entrusted with protecting and enhancing the natural areas throughout the city. So this is our primary focus and goal. So Lynn's questions were very relevant and fair. We have a shared goal of improving the natural areas throughout the city and protecting the ecological resources of those spaces, including the trees, shrubs, wildlife habitat, et cetera. So the efficiency is in process. We're not trying to expedite the ability of outside utility companies to impact natural resources. Our goal is to protect those natural resources, to reduce impacts, to avoid those impacts. When they are deemed unavoidable for greater public works projects, that is where the mitigation comes into place. That is both Parks' goal and mission in our City Nature program, and it is also the role of environmental code to protect those natural resources as well.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I appreciate that.
Great. Anything else? All right, this is a first reading of a non-emergency ordinance. It moves to second reading, and we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.